Well, hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to wherever you are in the world, and welcome to my very last webinar for 2021. And I prepared this webinar because I wanted you to have something to take with you into 2022 and set up your life and set up your year for 2022. And I know there's been a lot going on in the world, and the last 2 years has just been absolute chaos and crazy and heartache and pain, and lots of things happening that are causing us much more intense emotions than we would normally have experienced. And what I say is when we get squeezed, when we get into those situations, it's a bit like squeezing a lemon. When you get squeezed to the point where you feel the pressure, what comes out is what's already in there and what needs to come out for you to resolve and for you to look at. So just like a lemon, you squeeze a lemon, you get lemon juice. Squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. You squeeze yourself, you get emotions that maybe have surprised you, maybe you didn't know that were there. And we all have stuff. We all carry stuff. We may be carrying stuff for eons, for years, and when is it going to be the time for you to do the work so that you can live the aligned life that you want? All your, achieving all your goals and dreams and desires. And there's only one way I know how to do it. Like everybody out there is talking about, mindset, and it is part of it. It's a big part of it, but it's really doing the work on the inside, the internal work, connecting to your true soul, your true self, your authentic self, that is going to make a huge difference in how your life turns out, how your business turns out, how often, how successful you are in life, really. If you're trying to run a business and you've been, running on that treadmill for too many years, it's really it's important that you know that until you change on the inside, till you change yourself, you're still going to be running those old programs, patterns of the past that are going to keep getting in your way, keep blocking you moving forward. So I hope this will give you some really great tools, strategies, and practices today. And I've got something very, very special for you at the end. So stay to the end to receive that from me, and a gift that will go with that for those that are watching the recording. So hang in there, and we're going to have some value to give you today. So let me just share my screen. Share screen. Let's have a look. Here we go. Hope everyone's had a beautiful start to their day, and let me just present this in presenters mode. There you go. So once again, welcome to how to live an aligned life and attract everything you want with ease. And as I said in the introduction, I believe there is only way to do that, and is to work on yourself and work on connecting with that, part of yourself, so that you can be aligned and connected to what you want to attract into your life. And I feel like there's a lot, people are missing this particular key to creating the life that they want. So today we're going to help you out. Let me go. Okay, so 3 things we're going to learn today to live an aligned life so you can attract everything you desire with ease. All your dreams, all your goals, or your, everything that you want to create all comes back to, it's the secret sauce to mastering your life and attracting everything you desire. Comes back to doing what I'm going to talk about today. And the first thing you're going to learn is, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean to live an aligned life? what do you mean by that? You know, I'm doing pretty good. I'm creating goals and dreams, and I'm doing things that are, you know, I'm happy yeah, on the outside, yeah, but are you truly happy on the inside? Second thing is you're going to, you know, why being in alignment is the key for living a free, happy, and abundant life. Now, who doesn't want a free, happy, and abundant life, regardless, this is the key, of what's going on around you? Okay, it's like staying in your center, staying in your connected place, so that whatever is thrown at you, you can deal with. It's not going to get you. It's not going to hold you in that place for very long. You'll be able to have the strategies, tools, processes to actually move through whatever's thrown at you in life. The third thing is how to live an aligned life with what you want and to get what you want and desire. Oh, bit of a typo there. Okay, so how to live that. So how the things that will help you to get in that energy of alignment. And that's what we're going to talk about. All we're going to talk about today is energy work. So who am I and why do I do what I do? And why am I, you know, the expert on this? Why am I able to, you know, share all this with you? Well, I've had, for the last 38 years, I've been in the wellness and healing and personal development, personal and professional development world. So I've devoted my entire life to working on me, because I knew, well, I heard from my mentor, and my very first mentor, which was Mr. Jim Rohn, who is actually the grandfather actually of personal development. And I sat in a seminar with him once. I was about the age of 28. Okay, that's my age away now. And it really, really landed. And I was hearing stuff that I thought, why aren't they teaching this at school? Why are they teaching this at school? And he said, profoundly, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. And I remember sitting there I was floored, and tears welled up, and it really took me to a place of, you know what, if I don't do this work on myself, my life is never going to change. I was a single mum of 4 children, trying to, you know, put bread on the table, keep them in their private education that we had them in, and just live well, at the time, I just wanted to survive. But knowing, you know, what I do now and having the experiences that I've had and learning what I've had, you know, it's more about just living and existing. It's all about living an abundant life and living that life of purpose and passion and our birthright, as I've said down here. You know, I believe in living abundantly, aligned is our birthright. So I've actually devoted my last 32 years of doing transformational coaching in the wellness industry first. Then I moved into the mind work because I couldn't figure out why people were making changes, and, you know, and then next minute they're landing back where they started, and it was like this perpetual cycle. Have you ever experienced that? So I went along and I searched and I found neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis, and I went and studied that and became a practitioner, a master practitioner in that work. So what do I do now? And since doing that work 13 years ago, I now help women to, well, live an aligned life, you know, allowing them to believe that they can live an aligned life, you know, and overcome overwhelm, stress and anxiety, which the majority of people are living in right now. By the way, I'm not opposed to working with men. I've worked with some men in the past on, you know, long-term coaching contracts, and it was wonderful. So if you're watching any men out there, I'm not opposed to it. I just found that, you know, the women were really struggling to find themselves more so. And, you know, today I see men as well, and I always refer people on and always encourage men to do the work as well. So, you know, what does it mean living a life? So getting your power back to live the way you want to live, the way you love, you know, what do you love to do? And live from a place of calm, contented calmness, and empower people, them to live, just not to thrive, not just survive, which is where I was in the beginning of my work 38 years ago, just surviving. And it wasn't until I found personal development and spiritual development that my life turned around exponentially. I could not believe what happened. So in fact, I was 6 months pregnant with my fourth child when my marriage broke down, and really put me in a devastating state of despair and depression. And so I felt the stuff. I've been there, I've done that, and I've felt it, and I've been to the pits down there, and I know how hard it is to climb out. So what I'm teaching you is definitely what's going to help you get out of that pit, or get out of that emotional state of where you are today, where you find yourself in your life, in your not just emotionally, but spiritually, physically, and financially, and everything. So living from that place of abundance and joy is my belief, and finding that purpose and passion, which is what I've talked about there. So enough about me and how I work and what I love to do. It's a lifeline passion. So what does it mean to live an aligned life? Well, if you look over here, we just start with Albert Einstein and what he has stated, and what he has learned through his own experiences and the work he did in the world, is everything is energy, and that's all there is. So we have to match the frequency of our reality to what we want. So you cannot help but get that reality. And that's a whole nother level of teaching that I do, as far as envisioning and creating that vision and turning that into your reality. So there can be no other way. This is not philosophy, it's physics. The great Albert Einstein. So yeah, living an abundance of the quality of a life that you want to attract to you. That's what it is. In an energetically connected one, one of passion, desire, and ease. Everything's energy, and it's measured by a frequency. That is actually proven. It's something called a barometer, or anyway, there's actually a device or equipment that measures energy. So it is proven that we're all emanating energy every single day, every second of the day, every moment. We're made up of energy. We're made up of cells and atoms, and we're vibrating at a certain frequency. So when we use this brain of ours, this mind of ours to vibrate at a higher frequency, we can create what we want. And we're constantly vibrating. So how we're feeling in every given moment is the vibration of which we transmit out of into the world. And it's so important. That's why we need to do the work and recognize when we're out of energetic alignment, and we can then adjust our frequency. And that means that you can literally use your body as a tuning fork. And I've seen this done in energy work. I've seen it actually, physically align yourself through your body, asking questions. And again, another time for another conversation. But when you align your emotional energy to that higher frequency vibration, you'll attract exactly what you want. So that is what it means. And let's look at the hierarchy of energy frequency. So if we attract everything to us through our thoughts and feelings, well, we do, because we're vibrating those thoughts and feelings all the time. So what we think about, we bring about. You've probably heard all of that. How we feel, we attract to us. So vibrating at the energy of thoughts and feelings and emotions is what creates the results that we receive in our life. So if you look at this spiral, we've got an upward, and I think I'll just move that upward spiral, downward spiral. And when we're in a vibration of the upward spiral up here of, love, joy, freedom, empowerment, all of that, that's when we're attracting. That's our attraction energy. And that's what we're aiming for. So yes, we can be here, but we can move up here once we're aware. So, you know, and when we're stuck, we're normally vibrating down here. You know, our thoughts and feelings our frustrations, our doubt, our worry, our anger, guilt, our, you know, a feeling of insecurity and powerlessness. That is when, you know, you actually will struggle to get out of that. So they're associated with attracting that vibration of, you know, pain and suffering and struggle and all of that stuff. And it's not a very nice place to be. I've been there, and I would say that, you know, 99% of the population have been there or are living. A lot of people are still living there because they just don't know these simple practical steps to pull themselves out of it. So it's only through awareness of how you're feeling that you can align your vibration and frequency, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, that you can align your vibration of energy. So let's moving on. I hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions, you know, pop them in the chat and I'll get to them later. So for the sake of time or to get through this, we will keep moving. Okay, so the key to mastering your thoughts and emotions. Okay, that is the key. So if we attract everything around us by our thoughts and our feelings, the awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and feelings are imperative to master. It's a must. If you want to live a long, abundant, exciting, fulfilled life, get to the end of your life and have no regrets, knowing you have created everything you wanted and done the best you could, that is your goal. That is your goal. So to live your highest vibrational frequency of love and above, which is where you saw that the high on the highest vibration on the spiral, it was love. I call that love and above. And the great Nikola Tesla, if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, exactly what we're talking about here. So the key is also, you know, to recognize the signs of misalignment and connect, you know, to your inner guidance system to guide you back into alignment. What does that mean? Your inner guidance system. There's this place that you can actually connect to. And if you listen, and we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly, if you listen, you will be guided. You will have the answers to be guided on your journey to the next steps. All righty. So that's really important, like listening to your inner guidance. So how do you know when you're out of, oh, I'll go back. Sorry, I went the other way. How do you know when you are aligned with your frequency? Well, you'll feel a sense of calm centeredness as you move about your day, achieving everything you want with ease. So you'll be like in this place of, I guess, stillness, this centeredness, this calm place. You'll be in a state of non-reaction to anything that comes in, any pressures, any people that challenge you, that you come up against, that any reactions, you will find that you'll be more in an objective space. You won't be, you know, affected by that as much. Like nothing really rattles you. You're attracting magnetically without effort. That's a given. And the ladies that I work with, every week they come and tell me, wow, look what's happened this week as a result of changing their energy, of changing their thoughts and their intentions. So you're also living from a place of contentment, like that sense of peace, similar to that calm centeredness. You are focused, you're more focused, you're clear, knowing what your next steps are to move forward. You make decisions with clarity and discernment. So you are checking in to see whether it is the best choice for you, You'll know what, and this is really important because you can tune in if you're trying to work on your health or your weight or your or some sort of vice, what do you call it, addiction, like, you know, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever. It's so important to just be in that place of discernment so you can make a decision from that place of being in that connected space. And in that place, you will find, you know, asking certain questions, which I will go to soon, you will find that you will be able to have a clearer answer. You'll be guided to not, you know, making better choices, you know, about what you are, what your habits. That was the word I was thinking for, habits, you know, what the habits you do actually create for you. So you have consistent energy, and you'll find that illness and ailments are a very rare occurrence. And I can absolutely advocate for that, because I personally have never had a doctor, a personal doctor, and have been there for any other reasons other than, you know, women's health, women's stuff that we need to do and check up. In my older years, I'm now 60, in my older years, like after the 50s, I would just have a checkup with my bloods, making sure everything's fine. It was more for, you know, sound mind, to make sure, you know, everything was in place. I had a torn shoulder ligament, anything like an injury. Other than that, health-wise, I have not been through, and not to say that I haven't had the odd, you know, the cold or the flu or whatever, but I've passed through it so quickly that I haven't needed a doctor. I tune into what I need, and I, you know, pretty much give myself that. So you're more tuned into and aware of your energy is what I'm saying here. And you just feel your immune system's high because you're feeling so damn good, because you're living in that high vibration. So yeah, and you'll know how to shift your emotions, how to shift your emotions and thoughts as they come up doing this work that I'm talking about. So it is about doing. Where do I start? Where do you start? Where do you start? Well, you start by doing the inner work. Call it mindset, call it what you like, but doing the inner work. Connecting with yourself, connecting with yourself, connecting with yourself. That's your one and only job on this planet, is continually connecting with yourself, knowing yourself inside out, upside down, and what you want in your life. It can only happen through practice, all right? And this is why it's so important to practice what I'm going to teach you today, what I'm going to share with you today. It is the only way to get what you want in this lifetime. So the first step is to check in with yourself frequently. Stop what you're doing several times a day. Set the reminder several times a day to just stop, breathe, put it in your reminder, just put it in breath or whatever word is going to get you to, or just stop, which means tune in, ask yourself these questions. How am I feeling in this moment right now? How am I feeling? What am I thinking in this moment? What am I thinking? And what am I projecting out into the world in this moment? How is that traveling out my energy in this moment? In particular, when you're going to be in an environment that you don't really want to be there. Okay, what's projecting out? And what do I want to project out? What do you want to project out in the world? So ask the opposite. Well, what do I want to project? And then that will put you in that place of where you want, because our mind talks in pictures. So when we think of something, we have a picture. And this is really, really important and powerful, because that picture is what creates the reality, what creates the reactions, what creates the steps moving forward, what creates the behaviors, what creates everything. So these 4 questions, if you've got a pen and paper handy, I would write them down because imperative to helping you to start the process of connecting back to yourself. How am I feeling in this moment? If you're watching the replay, stop the video and write this down. What am I thinking in this moment? What am I projecting out into the world in this moment? What energy am I projecting? And what do I want to project out into the world right now? Okay. So next is knowing where you're at, okay? Knowing where you're starting from, it's so important to know, it's important to know where you're at with all these areas of your life, which I'm presenting here. And what I want you to do, again, just write these down, and after the webinar, just spend some time and really, truly be honest with yourself. Really, tune in and just go internal and ask yourself, where do I rate the area of my life out of 0 to 10, 0 being the least, 10 being the highest, the most, in these areas of my life? My health and wellness. And then your relationship and romance. Relationships and romance. Why I choose 2? Because it's relationships with everybody, okay, with everyone around you, even the shopkeeper that you interact with, the next door neighbor, whoever, and your romantic life, if you have one. Okay, where am I rating my life as far as my family and my home life? Where do I rate that? Personal development, on a scale of 0 to 10, what personal development am I currently doing in my life? What am I doing to develop myself, my spiritual self, my mental self, my physical self? Career and business, whatever you're in, or self, business. Career or business, where do you rate yourself right now? Finances, okay, where do you rate yourself? And spirituality, which is really, really important, to be connected to something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be God, it could be higher self, it could be the plants, nature, mother earth, nature, whatever it is for you. Buddha, yeah. Just where is it where do you rate yourself in these areas of your life? And be completely honest. You'll only get progress if you are honest with yourself. And when you do that, just see, and when I teach this to the women that I work with, I have a chart. Okay, in my group program we have a chart, and we rate it at the beginning of our work, and then we rate it at the end, and we can see by doing the work the progression and how it's changed. And if anything's really out of balance and you work on the one that's the least of where you want to be, you will notice over the time of doing the work on that area, everything will come into balance. Okay, so important. And again, with my one-on-one clients, we do this at the beginning and halfway through, and then at the end. And the change is absolutely phenomenal. I am always so amazed and excited for them. Okay, so what is doing the inner work to keep you aligned of the frequency that you want to attract look like? Well, what do you have to do? Like, people say to me, oh gosh, I haven't got time for all this. It's just another thing I have to fit into my day. Well, I'm going to ask you now, if you keep going the way you are going, getting the same results you are getting in your life, and nothing's changing, what's it going to take for you to just do the work, so that you have an exponential growth in your life? Not just a little bit, but changing it forever. What's it gonna take? If you can't take 30 minutes a day, I mean, think about it. How much time do people spend watching TV? I think a lot. I think a lot. If you added up the hours of your week and, you know, and what you did in your downtime, watching what you do, or playing games or whatever on your computer, or spending time on social media, like how many hours do you reckon you could clock up? And if you took those hours and put it into the time to really do the work on yourself and doing this practices of stillness, tuning into your navigational system for guidance, which we touched on, regular breaks during, I mean, some of this stuff you can actually do in and around what you're doing on a daily basis. It doesn't take any extra time. So taking regular breaks through the day, you know, setting your reminder to go stop, breathe, 1 minute, okay, just to breathe, go in for a few minutes and ask those questions. Intentional movement, okay, if you spend 10, 15 minutes in the morning, starting the day, just lifting your energy through movement, however that is for you, whatever feels good for you, it's movement, okay. Intentional gratitude practice. And again, this can be done throughout the day. I get my ladies to set a reminder on their phone 5 or 6 times a day to actually, for the intention, everything has to have an intention to pay gratitude. And it doesn't matter what it's for, the littlest thing, it's a practice that you want to start to embed in your unconscious so it becomes a good habit. It's a powerful practice too for actually shifting energy and attracting more to you. Intentional self-care, nourishing your body, mind, and spirit of self-love with self-love and worth, okay? And again, embedding those practices that you are worthy, you are honorable, you are amazingly beautiful, all right? And when you can get to the point of looking yourself in the mirror and saying that you are amazing, you are beautiful, you are gorgeous, I love you, to yourself, you have come a long way. And that would be your goal, to get to that point and getting that vibration of feeling good, and practice of that so that it can stick with you. Also, it's the practice of you know, awareness of how you're feeling, and we touched on that by stopping and checking in with yourself regularly, using your inner guidance system to recollaborate your energy when you need to. If you find yourself out of balance, you know, what can you do in that moment to bring yourself back in? And also having tools, resources, and support that will help you keep on track and moving towards this goal of staying in your energy frequency, in alignment with yourself. All righty, next. So are you ready to start living an aligned high frequency attraction energy? That's the question to you. And vibrate at a frequency that continually attracts only good to you, only good. Consistently taking only inspired action towards your goals and towards your dream with ease. When you're in alignment, this is what happens. Knowing how to shift your energy at any given moment so you can keep moving forward easily and effortlessly. I want to say effortlessly there. So knowing how to, you know, not stay in that vibration for too long, and falling into that pit where I was, staying, you know, not picking it quickly, like picking it up and going, okay, that's how I'm feeling. What can I do in this moment to shift my energy out of that, to shift my focus? And I'm going to give you tools and tips and other strategies that will really help you to do that very soon. So trusting your inner guidance system, keep talking about that. It's like, you know, checking in, you know, so that you can be in non-resistance to receiving, which means being detached. When you're setting your goals and dreams and intentions for the day or for the week or for the month or for the year or for your life, just putting it out there. And I teach a lot of this visionary work so that when you put it out there, And there's a process I do around this too, that when you put it out there, when you embed it in the unconscious mind, it happens naturally. So you don't have to think about it. What happens is magically things just align. You know, you've set the intention, you've set the picture. You know, I talked about that vision, the picture. You've set all that. So everything just falls into attachment. So you can set it and forget it and detach from the outcome. I think when we, you know, attach ourselves to it happening or focus on it not happening, like not happening, oh, it's not happening, that's when you're pushing it away, because you're actually embedding the opposite of what you want. You're embedding the intention of it not happening. You know, you've got to be aware of our words and our thoughts around all of this. So it's coming from a place of detachment when you are putting it out there into the ether, into the universe, whatever you want to call it. So you'll be able to call in exactly what you want from that place, and see it magically just appear. So you're creating, you're creating a space, a safe space for calming down the nervous system, which not many people do. And this is part of the process of breathing regularly, stopping and intentional breathing to relax your mind and release emotions that may be coming up. And I'm not saying push them down. I'm actually allowing them to manifest so that you can see them. Because when you can see them, you can do something about them. All right. You can process them in appropriate ways. You know, I remember way back in the beginning when I was so angry about what happened in my marriage and, you know, being left with the 4 children. I was in a victim state for sure. And I would go and I'd punch the pillow like crazy and scream into the pillow, releasing, I'd car scream, to put music on and car scream. There's ways of doing it in a healthy manner so that you're not hurting yourself or hurting others. You've got to let those emotions out. Okay, we've got to dissolve them. Now I know easier ways to do that through my NLP work, which is not as dramatic, but you know, it doesn't hurt to release that energy out of your body, because if you don't, it's going to be stuck. It's going to attach itself somewhere in you and potentially manifest into something that is not going to serve you long-term, like, you know, illness or disease. So important. And also aligning, you know, realigning yourself, recollaborating your energy at any given moment, and move into a more expanded place, a place of expansion, of possibility, you know, of it's like this, you know, child at Christmas time of curiosity and excitement. So yeah, when you're in that space, when you're living in that, you're actually, you know, raising your vibration to a point where your life will change exponentially. So to do this, I have something incredible that I created for you. I've created this amazing tool to make it easier. Everything I'm talking about is in this, what I call the ultimate wellness toolkit, putting the healing back into your own hands. And, you know, it's been amazing seeing the results of women that have been using this toolkit, even just parts of it, you know, even if you just start by implementing something, one thing that's going to make a difference in your life. And watch your world transform. So I've created this with the intention so people can access it and use it at home themselves. And let me just run through what that is. Okay, so you'll have a welcome and you'll have a guideline of how to use the toolkit effectively for you to get the results, and each part of it, what its purpose is. You'll have a monthly, or you could even use this as a weekly goal tracker to see how you're traveling, to track your steps of what's happening, what your focus is, where you're heading. Okay, when we have something in front of us to see and guide us, it's much easier to keep on track And this is why I've done this. You've got a manifestation and reflection journal. So what do you want to manifest? There's questions there you can ask yourself on a daily basis. All right. You can keep yourself a journal, okay, to use extra writing of what you want. And journaling is a very, very powerful way of releasing things out of us, unconscious things that we don't even know that exist. Whenever I journal, I'm amazed at what comes up. I was like, where did that come from? And half of it doesn't make sense, but it really is powerful to bring it up and release it. Okay, so there's a place that you can do that, or you can have your own little journal on the side doing that, which a lot of women that have got the toolkit, using the toolkit, are doing. Here's a raising your vibration checklist, just what we're talking about, raising your vibration and checking in and just really, you know, making and adding things to this. What else can you do? What do you want to do? You know, what fills your heart? What lights your fire? And it's just checking in that you're doing the things that I talked about today for yourself. And then you've got a self-esteem journaling section as well. Okay, so working on yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself is so, so important to building your confidence and being able to step out, looking at you know, areas that you may need to work on, and that you can do from your little, you know, 0 to 10, what you graded yourself. You will know where you want to work so that you can build on that. And the last page is anxiety and truth, which is all about anything that comes up that inhibits you. And, you know, because limiting beliefs are a big thing. They rule your life. They run your life. And most of them are anxiety. They show up as anxiety. So when you're limiting yourself because of something that you believe, then your body's just going to get anxious. Your mind's going to be anxious. Oh, you know, I can't do that. Or da, 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 whatever it is it tells you. As you reflect and go through your, you know, your journaling and your work here, and you feel what comes up for you, write it down and turn it into a more empowering belief, which is the truth about it, because most beliefs are totally not true. They're things that we make up. They're false evidence appearing real, which is the acronym that I've used over and over and over, because they're what the mind is making up and you are actually believing it, which is not true. Because have you got evidence of that? No, because it hasn't happened yet. Most of the time it hasn't happened yet. There could be, yeah, there's parts of it you could explore about your past that have created those beliefs, yes. But until they actually happen, it's an anxiety. Okay, and you're putting yourself under stress, actually thinking about it. You may not even know they're there. They may just come up from nowhere. And this is an awesome way, a great way to rewire those beliefs, those anxieties, and put them into a more empowering statement. What do you want to believe? What is true about it? What is true about what you don't believe? What is true? Look for evidence of that. Look for evidence of that. And I will take anyone who purchases this toolkit today, and it's at a very minimum. I've kept it for people on the webinar. I've kept it at a really minimum cost. I mean, to be honest with you, you can't put a price on this work. You cannot put a price on it. But because I want to have everybody be able to use it, access it, I want it to be affordable for everybody. I've priced it at $17. It was at $27. For you, it's $17. $17 to change your life. Like, whoa, what can you go without for that? Right? Some places you can, you know, you can't even get a glass of wine for that. Okay, depending on where you hang out and where you go. But this is a tool that you'll have for life, forever. And with that, I'm actually throwing in an extra tool for free, which is an offer with this, which is normally, I can't remember, it's about $9, but I'm going to throw it in free because I feel like it's so, so important. It's my planner. It's my personal planner my wellness planner for you, for every woman on the planet that needs to, you know, I believe everyone needs to plan. Without a plan, we fail. So it's a place where you can embed your daily intentions, your daily self-care. It's one page, okay? Your diary, it's got a page where you can put your appointments for yourself, where you can put your self-care practices or your exercise or your water and your food, how you're nourishing yourself. And it's an amazing tool. And every woman that I've used this with in my group program in particular, but some of my one-on-one coaching, because they are so overwhelmed with children and business and everything's happening in their life, family, you know, they're looking after grandparents and all sorts of things. On top of all of that, it's a really amazing, cool tool that you can then easily slot everything in. And eventually it'll just, when you're doing this work, it'll all become automatic. It'll all flow naturally out of you because you've been doing the work. You've been implementing the tools. You've been overriding those programs and beliefs that we all have that run the show for us. So doing this will speed up exponentially your what you want to attract, what you want to have in your life, and how you want to live your life. And it is truly an amazing tool. So so if you grab this tool today, you will get the free planner plus a 30-minute planning session with me where we can go over the planner and touch on the wellness toolkit so that you actually do it. Like, how many times have you got something or bought something and you went, oh yeah, I got it, and you've never actually used it, particularly at a price point that is not out of your comfort zone. You know, I believe that people value things more when they pay a higher price for them. But I want this to be available to everyone. So please download it and have the intention to use it, because your life will never change unless you get into action and do something, okay? Do the work, do the inner work, do the things that are going to make the most difference. And when you do this, everything else will change anyway. Your business will change. Your family life will change. Your relationships will change. Doing the inner work. And what falls away in the process falls away. It doesn't matter, because you know you are so 100% confident and connected to yourself, but nothing else matters. Of course, we have a compassionate heart about things, but I mean, things that aren't happening in your life, people that aren't serving you, people that don't have your best interest at heart, they're going to fall away, and you'll be free to move forward and create more exciting, new, connected relationships that are of the same caliber, the same energy, that are wanting to have betterment for their life. And that's what you find, and it's amazing. I didn't get through to this is some of just a couple of people that I've pulled out that are using the kit. And the first one here, looking at Cha-Cha, man, within 2 weeks, so this woman, this mother, she has a young child, young baby, mum, wasn't working, was struggling, was living with an elderly parent, trying to survive. Within 2 weeks of using this, she landed her ideal career, and had income flowing into her life within a couple of weeks of doing the work. You know, it's giving her, she says it's giving me exactly what I needed to get my priorities of myself right, and not be doing being busy doing the things that weren't making any difference. Okay, and doing the things that are going to make the long-term results. And I'm getting weekly updates from this beautiful lady, and amazing what's happening in her life. And in fact, she sent me a video testimonial. If you want to see that, I'll get it up on my socials for you. Darby, everything's going easy. She thought that everything was great, but when reevaluating the things that she needed to do, clearly she said, apparently there needs to be some tweaking. So there you go. Patsy, oh my goodness, Patsy, again, another lady who's been updating me regular with these testimonials weren't within the first week, by the way, but she's been updating me regular with what's happening with her life, and it's been amazing. So and Elsa, I'm amazed with the toolkit, another full-time mum and business owner, and needed the toolkit to put her priorities in place and managed to set goals, keep on track, and achieve so much. She loves the raising the vibration checklist the most. So she can't wait to get up every day and start implementing that. And so that's just a couple of people that are already using it. And this was after 1 week. Incredible, incredible, incredible. So thank you all for watching me. And to access the kit, you'll need to go to this site, this link, I should say, and you can download it from there. It's $17. You'll have the option to purchase the planner. Don't purchase the planner, because I will see you who are here, who have watched it, who have been here in my webinar, and I will be gifting that to you with a time to book a 30-minute strategy session so we can implement the planning of all of this. Okay, as I said, there's no point in getting the tools, strategies, tips, all the stuff that we collect along the way, but we don't do anything. We just put it there, it gets dusting. Oh, one day. Okay, one day is now. Now is the first day of your life. Don't regret at the end of your life being not having what you want and not being the person you want to be. So on that note, I'm thanking you for being with me today, and appreciate your taking the time out of your special day, but this will change your life, I can guarantee it. So have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, and whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to helping you and seeing you create your best life ever. All righty. Have a beautiful day, everyone.